to record now.
Okay. Welcome everyone to the Park and Recreation meeting of Monday, July 27th, 2020. Let me start by reading this information. As a preliminary matter, this is Cynthia Chaston, Park and Recreation Chair. Permit me to confirm that all members and persons anticipated on the agenda are present and can hear me. Members, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Let me start with Christopher Gerstel.
Here.
Matthew Tulin.
Hello and here.
Michelle Geddes.
Here.
I won't call Bruce. It looks as though Bruce hasn't joined us yet. Staff, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Stacy Mulroy.
Here.
Angela O'Connor.
Here.
Kristen Wright.
Here.
Okay. Anticipated speakers on the agenda, please respond in the affirmative. I don't believe we have any anticipated speakers. All right, now let me read this introduction to our remote meeting. Good evening. This open meeting of the Needham Park and Rec Commission is being conducted remotely, consistent with Governor Baker's executive order of March 12, 2020, due to the current state of emergency in the Commonwealth due to the outbreak of the COVID-19 virus. In order to mitigate the transmission of the COVID-19 virus, we have been advised and directed by the Commonwealth to suspend public gatherings, and as such, the governor's order suspends the requirement of the open meeting law to have all meetings in a publicly accessible physical location. Further, all members of public bodies are allowed and encouraged to participate remotely. The order allows public bodies to meet entirely remotely, so long as reasonable public access is afforded, so that the public can follow along with the deliberations of the meeting. Ensuring public access does not ensure public participation unless such participation is required by law. This meeting will not feature public comment. For this meeting, the Needham Park and Rec Commission is convening by Zoom app has posted on the town's website identifying how the public may join. Please note that this meeting is being recorded and that some attendees are participating by video conference. Accordingly, please be aware that other folks may be able to see you, and take care not to screen share your computer. Anything that you broadcast may be captured by the recording. All supporting materials that have been provided to members of this body are available on the town's website unless otherwise noted. The public is encouraged to follow along using the posted agenda unless the chair notes otherwise. We're now turned to the first item on the agenda. Before we do so, please permit me to cover some ground rules for effective and clear conduct of our business and to ensure accurate meeting minutes. I will introduce each speaker on the agenda. After they conclude their remarks, the chair will go down the line of members, inviting each by name to provide any comment, questions, or motions. Please hold until your name is called. Further, please remember to mute your phone or computer when you are not speaking. Please remember to speak clearly and in a way that helps generate accurate minutes. For any response, please wait until the chair yields the floor to you and state your name before speaking. We don't have any public comment. Finally, each vote taken in this meeting will be conducted by a roll call vote. Okay, that's it for the preliminary. Great respect for you, Chris, that you did this the last few meetings.
Of course, you did it better than I did, so good job.
Is there anyone attending from the public that you can see?
Just our staff member, Kim Parsons.
Okay, welcome, Kim. All right, then why don't we start with the agenda and let's start with the direct.
Sure. So the direct report, again, thank you for your patience on this. We can run through some of the big items pretty quickly. And then if you have any questions at the end, just let me know. So summer recess program, we had to pivot, which is the new term, at the last minute because Newman and Elliott programs were very low. So Chris and Angela came up with a great idea to run Newman as a tennis program and combine Newman and Elliott at Elliott. So we have our summer recess program, which is our 9-to-1 recess fun at Broad Meadow and Elliott. And we have over at Newman from 9 to noon, we have a tennis-focused program, which is somewhat like a mini tennis academy. Our numbers jumped 11 just in the switch. And from that last week to this week, we jumped over 20 participants and counting. And considering the heat of this week, I'm pretty impressed that we still had so many people attend this week. Programs are going off really well. Staff's great. The virtual programming needs a little oomph, but we're pivoting on that as well, doing more videos. They did run their first program today. And was it this afternoon?
Yeah, I
This
went
morning?
to it. It was really good, actually. They did a really good job.
Yep, so it was a great program. We finally got somebody registered, so we had some staff. And like I said, we're gonna do some other videos to get more clicks, basically, get people more interested and really drive that part of our programming. As far as the pools open tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. I didn't see any of your names on the reservation list for 7 a.m. tomorrow for lap swimming, so you'll have to. Cindy's like, no.
We don't want to take up spaces from the public.
Oh,
That felt selfish
you're so
from our
kind.
standpoint.
We're commissioned for the
Couldn't
people.
agree more, Michelle.
Well, so the family slots from now until Sunday are totally 100% booked, which is great. Our lap swim slots are also 100% booked, with the exception of some water walking. So you wouldn't be taking anybody's spots if you wanted to walk in the water lane to get some exercise. You could race even, it would be great. We could videotape it, we could put it up. It would be some real good marketing, I think, for the pools. The staff down there have, they've just been working tirelessly. The place looks beautiful. We are ready to go tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Angela, Devin, and crew have been downstairs just knocking out of the park every day, all day. And the staff, and I'll let Ange jump in here because she interacts with them the most, but it's real hot out there, and those guys are out there giggling and laughing and having a good time, and mostly social distancing. But, we'll get there. They're doing a great job. Ange, you want to jump in on that at all?
Yeah, they're doing a fantastic job. We have a really good crew this summer. I'm really proud of them. They've really stepped it up. Our supervisory staff has been absolutely fantastic. Having Kate Curtin as our pool operation, the key person downstairs, has made a world of difference. Having her take care of the operational pieces downstairs, and our other pool steward, Logan, who is overseeing our aquatics piece, has been doing a fantastic job as well. And we're ready to go.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest, honestly, glitches have been in our lovely, somewhat difficult software system to use. Kristen and I and Kim have been registering and unregistering and moving and sending things out and dealing with a lot of emails. This system it may go out the window after the pool, quite literally, because I'm ready to kill it. But I think we have it under control. I'm very glad. We were gonna start reservations 3 days out. I'm glad I got nervous and decided to do it super early because we needed the time to figure it out. Now, today, as we speak, Kim is sending out confirmation emails for all of our spots tomorrow, making sure people know what time they're there, what lane they're in, or if they're in a family pod, the list of people that we have on their membership, and waiting for a confirmation that those people will be attending, so that we know exactly who will be coming and going at the pool. So that part of the thing is great. As you can see in the report, we've had to spend a little bit of money over the last week or so on some equipment needs that without them we couldn't have opened. Much of it dating back to some issues last fall when we could have, should have, and didn't handle them. And now we have had to in order to open. And then not surprisingly, there's some additional money being spent on extra lane lines and extra signage and extra equipment that all will go towards the CARES Act. Kristen's making a spreadsheet, keeping track of all those things that can be applied to the CARES Act. And today's fun. I only saw some of the actual happening. I didn't see the full video, but the staff made a how to enter the pool video, complete from, I believe, lining up to entering the water to exiting the pool area. So the staff was on it, and I haven't seen it yet, but I'm looking forward to it. So people can watch that before they come if they have any questions. Field permitting is going well. We have 6 user groups that have registered through the system. So far, I have no overlaps, which is great. I don't have to call and say you can't have this deal. So far so good. We are continuing our social media campaign on distancing, face coverings, and hygiene. You'll notice some signs up in some of our parks that are thanking people for wearing their face coverings. That's a little tongue-in-cheek there, but it seems to be working. People are appreciating it, seeing it. We're seeing more face coverings being used, so that is good. And lastly, playgrounds. Greens opened this past. Yeah, sorry about the background. We're working on that. Greens Park opened this past week. Tony was able to get it open on Friday, and most people were very happy. Do not look at social media, but people are super happy that we opened. And next is Mills, and as soon as we get a delivery of surfacing over there, Tony will hit that one, and we have a volunteer student that will be out there helping us out. Kristen, you are muted if you're talking to us. If you're talking to yourself, that's cool. Still muted. Can you unmute yourself or no? Oh,
Space bar.
space bar. Hey, there you go.
Sorry, I missed the question. You kind of broke up there for me.
Oh, which question?
Did you ask me to unmute myself?
No, only
That's
when I saw you talking.
We thought you were talking to us, Kristen.
Oh, I was not.
Oh,
I was talking.
right.
Good, that's recorded. I enjoy that. Thank you.
Okay.
Can I ask a quick question in regards to the field permitting? Can you just let us know who the 6?
So, Mr. Gersel, can you wait to be recognized? My gosh. Yes. Oh. I have to have a gavel. All right.
Waving.
Dude, the new chair.
Any questions from the commissioners? Yes, Christopher Gersel.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I appreciate this. Could you let the commission know what the 6 user groups are that have put their field permit requests in, please?
Yes, I can.
Thank you.
Maybe from the top of my head, we have the YMCA, Needham baseball, softball, Needham soccer, Needham flag football, Needham junior football. Somebody else that wants
American
fields. Legion. They were, yeah, those people have their own fields. So yes, 6. There we go.
Great.
Thank you.
Yes. Yes, Commissioner Tulin.
So 2 questions. Are those permits for the summer or for the fall?
The only one that are for the fall dates, and I haven't confirmed with the user groups yet. I just put them, I have them set aside because they're like August, September, is flag football and junior football. So I haven't confirmed with them, but I am a visual person, so I created a Google Calendar so I could see where I put everybody. So I have basically them penciled in. And later this week, we're kind of holding off because they're supposed to be summer permits. I didn't kick them back to them because they're on that cusp. And frankly, if the kids don't go back to school, summer is forever. So, sorry, Michelle. But we are holding off on those 2 for the moment.
Yeah, no, I was just more curious to see how how the user groups are handling it, because I know there's still a lot of conversations at the school levels with regards to who's going to be able to do what and how and why.
Right, and I feel that we can't really book anything once school is supposed to start until we hear what the schools are going to be doing and what our access will or will not be. So we're just kind of holding off on that.
Yeah, no, I understand. I understand. And then I guess one other follow-up on the programs that you were talking about, the virtual programs. Are you going to be able to save those videos to recycle them? So meaning like if we're going to do this and then we can just sort of take this prepackaged program and roll it out in October or December or whatnot?
Yeah, so what we're actually doing for some of our virtual programs and depending on if we don't get people signing up for the classes, yes, we're recording everything, but we're also having the staff, in order to keep them busy, we are having them do videos for the kids that they could use in the fall or a winter video. So we're trying to spread out some of the options. Looking forward that even if we go back a little bit, we're still going to need some virtual options for people. So we are having the staff think about fall, winter programming as well.
Okay. Any questions? Michelle, any questions? Stacy, I have a couple of questions. So with less kids signing up for some of the programs, do you have the correct number of staff? Do we have too many staff, or are you able to keep everyone busy?
So the answer is we have plenty of staff and we are being creative in keeping them busy. For instance, last week, we only had 2 groups at Elliott instead of 3. So we had some staff in the building, like doing some organization stuff, getting stuff prepped for next week, helping with like the t-shirt delivery came in. So we had them organize that stuff. It freed up our full-time staff a little bit. This week they were able to go back out into the field. So that was great. So, I talked to HR and was like, our numbers are not where we thought, but we had to hire them. And the town was like, keep them busy. We're keeping them. And so we are trying to be as creative as we can. Hence we're having staff that aren't necessarily virtual staff. We can also ask them to do videos for fall programming or whatever if we need to.
There was a group that also helped down at the pool quite a bit last week, so
Yes.
that was super helpful.
It was great to have like extra set of hands down there, like just with the signage alone. Those guys are great.
Okay, and can you refresh my memory? How many people are you expecting at the pool tomorrow, do you think, with everyone who signed up? What's a full day number?
So we're not full on the water walking. So we have 8 lanes times 4 slots.
Okay.
Plus a handful of walking lanes. I cannot say that. And then the afternoon slots, we have 3 time slots times 12 slots. And the number of people per slot can go anywhere from 2 to 6. So.
All right, great. I'd like to welcome Bruce. I see, Bruce, that you have joined us. We are going over the director's report. I don't know if you had a chance to look at it, but do you have any questions or comments on the director's report?
No, I have it right here in front of me. Just
Okay.
read it earlier, so looks good. Big day tomorrow.
Day.
It's going to be a great day.
Great.
It's
All
only
right.
going to be 97 tomorrow and not 99, so that'll be good.
Wow. I'm sure it will be great. All right, thank you. That's the director's report. Next, pool update. There any updates other than what you talked about in the director's report?
I don't have any. Angela, do you have any additional updates, or Kristen? Cool. Angela looks all set. Kristen, good. Nailed it. We're good.
Okay. All right. Any questions from the commissioners on the pool? No. Okay. Summer recess updates. Again, anything to add? Am I running an efficient meeting or what?
You are killing it.
Killing it. Playground up. Keep
Also
watch how it's done.
amazing.
No, I'm kidding. Thank you for getting Greensfield open. I think that was a big one for the community. It looks as though Commissioner Tulin has a question.
Yeah, what's our line of discussion if we're asked on why it took so long? Having not been here, I don't know the background on it, so.
On green specific, well, all of
Green
them.
specifically, I understand some of it with regard, we have the whole safety and checking and all of that. But
Mhm.
with green specifically, what was the key issue there?
Sure.
Just
Other
in case
than,
asked.
so in general, there's like, it was all the other stuff and now hurry up and open program playgrounds. So we were behind the 8 ball. But the two main things with greens and the last few playgrounds that we have is the safety surfacing, needing it to be delivered. Typically, my understanding is Parks and Forestry has some part-time summer help, which they have not been allowed to hire until they started to be able to hire last week. So normally we would have summer interns helping spread mulch during the day. To get greens open, we actually got approval to do 4 hours of overtime to get it moving and get it done. And now Health and Human Services have allowed us to get volunteers as well. So now we can get volunteer people to help spread mulch once it's delivered. Sorry, not mulch, engineered wood fibers, EWF. When they're delivered, they can help spread them. So now we can't rely on parks like we used to because they are still totally strapped and do not have enough people. So we're gonna go with Tony and some summer help and delivers around, basically. So those are the two main reasons. The other ones should go faster. So now that we're in a better space of ordering and being able to move it.
Any questions from the rest of the commission? All right, great, thank you. Discussion items, for-profit organizations and field usage. Any update on that, Stacy? I haven't heard anything.
No updates now that things are starting to open more and people can use gyms, and the people that were typically asking are now people that can use their indoor space. So we have not had any more. The town side of things have been asked, like the town manager or Sandy Sincata have been asked periodically, so they send it to me, but it's still, the last couple have been out of town, so.
Great. Any
Do you
questions?
want me to take that off the agenda for next week since it seems to be, next time, since it seems to be a moot point at the moment?
I would think yes, but any commissioners feel differently about that? Would you like to leave it on there to discuss? Anyone? All right,
Cindy,
then
I wouldn't think we need it on an agenda item, but I do think at some stage we should review our policy. We're going to be in this for 1.5 years, right? At least. I don't know about fellow commissioners. I'm not going back to my office for quite some time. We don't know what's going to happen with schools. I think it's worthwhile for us to actually have when we don't have as full of agenda and it's the night before opening the pool, that we talk about what we want our policy to be if we want to change it at all, right? So that it'll take the burden off of the staff to have to deal with these questions all the time. And, and we can look at it in light of our current situation, but our current situation is not going to go away anytime soon. So I think it's worthwhile of us reviewing the policy.
that's okay with me. Why don't we try to put it back on our agenda, say around the end of October? The pool will be closed and maybe we'll have some good idea of what the closing process is. It's not a bad idea to revisit that policy anyway. That policy has been around for a while. It's certainly not a bad idea for us to take a look at it. So I agree with that, Matt. So why don't we put it back on say mid to late October.
Okay, I'll make a note of that.
Thank you.
Are we continuing to see a lot of people using the either fields or courts for personal use,
Thank
like
you.
personal cleaning, or we had gotten this sort of flood on social media about advertising for lessons, and are we seeing that use on field?
I don't see it as much. I try to not get stuck in the hole of social media too often, but Kristen is good at catching those things. Yeah, people are still posting stuff. People are still trying. We do drive-bys. We do what we can when we're there, but we can't. Kristen, you can speak to that better than I can.
I think it's more, are we seeing it on the fields as much as we were concerned we would see?
So there was actually a little bit of concern when we started our Newman program, because apparently a bunch of people were showing up, and they had a bunch of people showing up after them, which felt like a lesson. It felt like not my family coming to play tennis. It felt like a person selling a spot that's coming to have their people meet them at Newman to do a lesson for profit. So that was interesting. And then, but they were fine once they realized and they saw the signs that we put up that said that we had a program there from 9 to 12. There has been a couple of ads. I've been hitting them, as I see them, and just private messaging them and basically stating, if you're using your own court space, if you're using a private court space, that's fantastic. We're super excited. And if you would like to run a program through us, just let us know. But please note that the public courts are not for private lesson use. So it's just, it's going through. You still see camp things that, we monitor, and I've been helping out the Board of Health with that to, streamline that whole session too, so that the camps are all regulated through the town like they're supposed to be, especially this year. But for the most part, most people haven't said anything back to me or anything like that. So I don't know if they just stopped advertising it on social media or if they're actually getting the message that this is not permitted use, but it's definitely gone down.
Oh, good. Okay. Any other questions for the commission? All right. The boat launch. Any news on the boat launch, Stacy?
No updates.
No update. Okay. Walker Pond.
I'm working with Tony Del Gazio to set up a time for a meeting. I have everybody for the focus group, and basically we need, can you hang on one second?
Yep.
Sorry about that. So Walker Pond focus group is all set. We are trying to get a date because Tony in engineering has informed me that they're already doing some things to Walker Pond to help them out, but they're apparently flying under the radar. So we're trying to get a meeting together, and I'm trying to work with him and around summer vacation just to try and pick the date. Dan Gilmartin is emailing me and not quite understanding that it is not the top 3 priority on my list, but Katie King has been helpful in being like, yep, we will, you're on our radar, you're not first. So I'm hoping to have that meeting sometime in August.
Okay.
But I'm just basically chasing down Tony.
All right. Fields. Any update on fields other than what we had talked about?
Yeah, fields are good. Permitting is going pretty well. Seems like people are following all the rules as closely as they can. We still get comments and emails and comments about masking. We follow up with the user groups as much as we can, possibly. The biggest issue at both fields and playgrounds is the trash. We both, myself and Eddie, are following up with RTS, making sure that they're getting the trash done. I mean, there's more people out, there's more outdoor dining, there's more picnics, there's more trash. And like I said before, not just Parks and Forestry, but DPW also doesn't have their summer help. So it's just a constant come on guys, help us out. So we are doing the best we can with that. And I know I see Eddie picking up trash all the time. When I drive by, I try and grab it. Kristen has a question.
I think Kristen has a comment.
I do. I just got notification from Eddie. Actually, I was on my way back to the pools with our cleaning sprayers. So I didn't update the website yet, but Warner Fence was finally fixed today, this morning. So that is actually back online, which is exciting.
One more update on DeFazio McLeod, I believe the field is. There's an irrigation break. I believe it's that one. Chris, you might know actually better than I do on that. But Eddie is working on it. It's been shut down. We had 1 day shut down all of DeFazio. Then he was able to isolate that one field for the irrigation. And it may or may not have been fixed. I haven't followed up with him yet this week. Chris, have you?
Chris?
Yes, what it was one night, there's a hose behind the pitcher's mound. Somehow there was just like, it bursted. So it was kind of just spewing up out of the ground. I went down there, Eddie went down there at the same time. It was probably like 8:30 on a Wednesday night. So what he did is that he kinked the hose, turned off all the water, went back and kind of jerry-rigged the hose later the next day. So it's holding right now. I think he's waiting for one more part, but the field is still open. It's just waiting for that part.
And this is McLeod?
Yes, McLeod.
Okay. Good, as long as it's still usable. Great. Thank you. Next item, events.
Yep. Our event, the drive-in, was very successful. It was not as highly attended as I would have hoped for. However, on the flip side of that, it was great because we were able to look at it and be like, ooh, we should put the screen here and we should flip this and we should try parking this way. So it gave us a lot of opportunity to learn. I did then speak to some of my other colleagues that are running these and being like, what are you charging? Because there was feedback about our fee being too high. What are you charging? What are we making? What are you doing? Most people are charging between 20 and 30 per car, so we were high. And they are all saying you can barely make back half of what you pay.
Okay.
So there's no way to break even. Everybody accepts it as a gift to the community. If we could get some sponsors, that might help us out. But so we can discuss this. We're not going to run another one until after the pool closes. I think that's probably the best plan for us. And we can do some more pushes for sponsorships to try and get closer to the break-even number. But it's not cheap. It's like $2,300 for the evening. So it's pricey. But
And how many cars can you fit? You can fit up to 50, is it?
so one layout that DBW did said that we could fit 60 cars. I think if we did a different layout, we could potentially get more cars in there because I think even 60 was shy. The trick is knowing when to park the SUVs and the sedans and who wants to park backwards and who's flipping up their trunk. And so there's a lot of those logistics that we learned as we went, and with less cars, it was easier to maneuver. So I think we can figure something out a little bit better next time. But yeah, I mean, even at 60 cars, we're not going to get too close to that break-even number. Chris?
Right. Chris Gersel?
Sorry, Cindy, I didn't mean to.
I know, I mean Stacy.
No, just the only comment I have is that I did hear great feedback about the drive-in movie theater. The only suggestion someone would make, and I know that we put it up to a vote of what movie it is, next time maybe pick a little bit older of a movie, because you got to think if you do a young movie, you have young kids. Young kids generally don't stay up that late. So if you maybe go for a little bit older of a kind of a theme of a movie, you might get a little bit bigger of a crowd because older kids are going to stay up a little bit later. But like I said, people that went, they loved it. That was the only feedback that I had, and I want to communicate it out there.
Yeah, we actually discussed that night, being like, I'm looking at all these little kids in their pajamas going like, oh, okay. It is the reason why we were happy that we got Pixar, because Pixar can kind of bridge the gap a little bit. But yes, I did talk to another community doing like Twister. They did like Jurassic Park, so it does hit a little bit older, but also like safe to
You're
show.
right. Nope. All right, great. Thank you.
So you would need us next time to vote on a fee, right? Because I think we voted to try to break even, so we would need to
Yes.
vote. Okay.
Yeah, I think next time we do it, you would vote on a fee, and with the understanding that we're definitely not going to break even unless we have a sponsor.
Okay.
Kellogg's.
Kellogg's News. I mean, one commission's opinion, I think it's a great thing for the community. Don't think it's a bad thing if it doesn't break even. I think there's worse things that we could be doing. I think it's a great community event type project, and if we could do it and make as much money as is feasible while keeping it affordable, I like that. Any other comments from the commissioners? Okay. Last item, projects.
None yet.
All right, fabulous. Okay, action. We have meeting minutes, which were very well written and taken minutes from May 11th. I hope you all had time to read them. Does anyone have any comments or questions or changes or corrections to those minutes? Take that as a no, then I would entertain a motion.
Motion to approve the minutes?
Second.
Thank you. Okay, we have a motion to accept the minutes of May 11th and a second. I will ask for all those in favor, and I will poll the commission for their votes, and I will start with Commissioner Gerstle,
Aye.
Commissioner Tulin,
Aye.
Commissioner Geddes,
Aye.
and Commissioner Bruce Williams. I think
Williams.
you were there, right?
I wasn't involved back then.
Okay, so I will, and the chair is also an aye, so that motion passes. Any issues that anyone has to bring up that would not reasonably have been anticipated within the last 48 hours? Stacy.
Yes, I have one. It is not an issue. Is it a happy/sad moment? Angela is leaving the department. She has been offered a position in Maine, a very exciting position. So we're very excited for her. It came up suddenly, and we are thrilled and very upset to see her go. But so we're going to have a super fun pool party tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. We hope to see all of you there. And we're thrilled and saddened, but we're excited for you, Ange.
Yeah, so I congratulations, Angela. That is, I'd like to say great news. I have trouble getting that out because I feel so sad that you will be leaving us. But congratulations, and can you tell us a little bit about what you'll be doing?
Yep, I was offered a position on Wednesday last week of being a program director for a nonprofit organization that just won the Robert Kraft Award.
Wow.
So
Great, congratulations. And what is your estimated day to leave us?
August 14th is my last day.
Oh.
Well, we are very sad, but we wish you the best, and we'll certainly talk to you before then. Any commissioners like to say anything?
I can only echo what Cindy is saying, that Angela, you'll be tremendously missed. For the short time that you were here, you made a monumental mark on the Park and Rec Department, and can only just say thank you for everything that you've done and everything that you'll be doing out there. And I will miss you, but I wish you the best of luck.
God, I'm getting all sad.
Oh, let's just lay it on.
I
Lay it
can't cry,
on.
it's
'cause
being
we may not have
recorded.
another meeting. Angela, you've done a lot over the last couple of years. It's been phenomenal working with you. What you've done, keeping the teams together and keeping people motivated and excited has really been tremendous. what you've done to help us through this wonderful knothole that we've been going through for the last 6 to 9 months with COVID, and everything has been awesome. So thank you for everything you do, and best of luck up in Maine. It's going to get cold up there, so bundle up.
She might be looking forward to that. She's been out there at the pool for the last few days.
Thanks, Matt.
Thank you, Angela.
Thanks, Michelle.
Yeah, well, Angela, you've been a big part of the reason that we had the success we had with this pool, and it's we've had some tough times, I think, here at Park and Rec. Hopefully, you felt supported by the commission, because we did our best to support you and try to make it work as much as we could. But we wish you the best, and I know that your heart has been in Maine for a long time. So good for you.
Thanks, Cindy.
So now it's hard to move on from that, but
The only thing I wanted to double check were August and September meeting dates, just so that we have them in the books. I have them for August 10th and 24th, and then September 14th and 28th. 14th might be a holiday, one of the Jewish holidays, if I remember correctly, but
my phone says Yom Kippur, so
there you go.
I would bet we would probably have to move that one. But the other dates are good for me. I know Commissioner Bruce had said that he couldn't make the 10th. Anyone else have a problem on August 10th? No? Okay. So then we would have a quorum, so we could have that one. Okay. All right. Great. And any topics of future agendas from the commissioners?
Can I ask one quick question? I know Stacey had said field permitting for the fall. We're just going to be waiting. I've just had a couple groups ask me what the process should be. Should they submit anything now? Should they wait until they get notification from Park and Rec? So just to know what guidance to provide.
So the process for me is to talk to Dan, the superintendent of schools, and talk to Tim from Health and Human Services, and find out what we should be doing. Should we be doing something similar to summer, or should we be waiting? But either way, I'm going to send an email like I did for the summer, saying we are now opening fall permitting up. This is the process. If after I talk to those guys, it's going to be longer than I anticipate, I can send an email to the user groups stating that, the fall permitting process is on hold for now. We're waiting for guidance from the Department of Health. At least that way you'll get less inquiries about it, and people will have some sort of understanding.
Okay. Commissioner Tulin?
Stacy, on that, I know that on Thursday, Dr. Gutekunst pushed out to the 14th. Do we have any understanding of two questions? One is when the MIAA might be making some of their decisions, like what's their timeline, and/or what is the governor's timeline for reviewing which sports are in which category? Because I think all of that impacts not only our user groups, but also the schools.
I haven't seen anything from MIAA or from the governor regarding what he thinks each sport will be in. Kristen looks like she might have more information than I do. Typically, MRPA sends stuff out right away as soon as they see it, and I haven't seen anything from them. But Kristen, go ahead.
MIAA delayed the fall season until the 14th of September. That was the MIAA made that call. So that's why the call was the 14th of September in Needham, because that was the call that they made for that type of sport. I don't know anything about the governor, but because I judge gymnastics, I get all of the MIAA updates directly. So
I thought you were going to say
was
that you
out.
judge the governor.
MIA has talked about
Not on a recorded meeting.
so the fall sports might not all be the same fall sports. They might flip flop with the spring, is what the thing talked about as well.
Yeah, that's Angela. That's what I'm trying to understand, right? Is,
Yeah.
as much as we can be proactive here or understand, and because I think I just find that we're always waiting for a decision and then we're reacting and trying to, and I know part of it's just how it's working, but if there's ways that we can at least have scenarios built, much like what the schools are doing with 3 different, go back to school scenarios, because we know that the different sports are also in different classes, right? Baseball, you can play games, and track, you can do full meets and things of that nature, but lacrosse and soccer now you can, but lacrosse, basketball, hockey, you can't, football. So understanding how we're going to be doing that and what's going to be happening, it just be helpful, because the user groups may or may not want to follow that.
My plan when I reach out to Dan and Tim about permitting is to have that broader conversation about like, what should we plan for 3 different scenarios, or should we plan for 2 different scenarios? Like, how can we be ready to go when they finally make the call?
Okay. All right, great. Well, thank you, everyone. Angela, congratulations again. We're very sorry to see you go, but we always wish you the best. I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Thought, Chris, you were going to jump on that one.
All right, let me poll the commission to take that vote. Commissioner Gerstle,
Aye.
Commissioner Tulin,
Aye.
Commissioner Geddes,
Aye.
Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
All right, and I'm also an aye. Thank you very much. In and out under an hour, so thank you. Good luck tomorrow, everyone. I hope to stop by, but I certainly won't attempt to even speak to anyone because I know you'll be busy and focused. But best of luck on opening day.
Thank you.
All
Great
right.
job.
All right, thanks, everyone. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Cindy, good luck this weekend.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah.